Guys, grab your whips, your projects, or something to drink, because I really want to do another knit and chat. Hi, my name is Deborah. I love to knit, crochet, so I love to talk about all things related to fiber arts. I want to start with talking about what I'm making. I am making a skinny scarf. I've been wanting one for some time because I own two scarves now. I mean, I think I have three scarves, but I wear two of the three scarves really. And that's one like winter scarf, and it's starting to get warmer. So it's a bit weird to go outside with like a big blanket kind of winter scarf. So I don't really like wearing it outside, but it's not yet warm enough in Belgium for me to just like raw dog it and not wear something around my neck. And the other scarf I have is my hood scarf, the clamshell pattern one that I'm making another version of as well. But the hood part of the clamshell is too bulky, so I can't just wear it as a scarf. So I want to make a little scarf that I could just wear for this type of like in-between weather. And I've also decided to dip into my own stash and do a little stash bust project by combining a bunch of different colors. I'll talk about the different colors I'm using. This light gray is yarn from the Veritas. It's 100% merino yarn. I will put all the details in the description because I forgot the name of it. I also have a bunch of Julia yarn from the Zeeman. You know this already. It's 20% merino and 80% acrylic. So I have this in white, then in beige, and also in green. I think those are the three Julia yarns. Then I also have the other light, so this is different, it's not the same. This is Julia yarn. This is also a Veritas yarn that I also have. This is also 100% merino. We'll put the name in the description and probably also on screen. Then I have some of this variegated yarn also here that I used for my open back top project. This is also yarn from the Veritas. I don't really remember the name of this either. We'll put it in the description. I think it's 100% merino and it's really pretty. It has like these purple hues and a little bit of lime, light green. This one has a little bit of blue. A little bit more difficult to decide where I'm gonna put it in the scarf, but I decided to add because I also have this little purple Julia yarn left, and I felt like it kind of tied in with the little bits of this yarn that is purple. And then I have one more 100% merino yarn that I want to add to this to give the scarf a little more depth. And this is yarn I got from my boyfriend's mom, who just didn't use it when I was starting to get totally into knitting. She was like, I have a bunch of these like knit sets, and she wasn't using the yarn, so I got this from her. So that's kind of like the color palette I'm working with. I don't know if I can put it all up. I hope you can still hear through the mic, but this is what I'm working with. This is where I'm at. This is my second time filming this video because the first location was just not, it just didn't look good. So I'm just filming it again. So I made some progress and that's what I'm working on. Now, next, you guys know the drill. I'm gonna give my opinion. I don't even think it's a hot topic, but I could understand that some people might maybe have another opinion than me. If you have another opinion than me about a topic, do not be mean. Just calmly express your opinion in the comments. Last time you guys killed it, you ate it up. You kept saying hi to my parents because you guys know my parents also read the comments, so stay nice. But that was really funny. And my parents also really appreciated that. So everyone who said hi to my parents, they're saying hi back. But I really wanted to talk about was something I heard about I've seen it on TikTok. I've seen two videos about it on TikTok, but more recently I've seen it on Alexa Kari, I think. She created Material Girls. Love what she's doing. It's such a creative way to organize people and organize workshops, and I just really like everything she does. And she reads a lot around, she reads books in general, but also around crafting. And she said, so she reiterated that crafters like to say like they make handmade clothes, like, oh, I'm making my handmade clothes, like even tags you can buy for if you start a little business or you start a handmade business. The tags usually say like handmade by me, this and that. But the thing is, all clothes are handmade. All clothing is handmade. Clothes you will buy in a fast fashion store, even though the quality is lackluster, it's still handmade. It's hand sewed together using a sewing machine. So there's still a human still put this together, and just because it's extremely cheap, and it's cheap because the work environment is absolutely horrible, the hours are horrible, the quality of the fabric used to create those clothes are horrible, the amount of pay they give to the person who makes the clothing is lackluster, completely horrible, doesn't mean that it's still not made by a person. And her saying that, I mean, listening to other people say it on the internet, it already made me think about this and be like, I have to stop saying that, oh, I made a handmade bag, because I like to post my little videos on Instagram stories and be like, I'm combining my handmade bag with my thrifted outfit. But like, everything was handmade. Removing that word from my vocabulary, because I just don't want to just point at, oh, you guys are doing this. Like, I'm thinking about myself. Like, I keep doing it, and it kind of devalues the work that these women, because 80% of garment workers are women. And even then, because garment workers in general who work in sweatshops are horribly paid, but women are treated even worse. They are suffering from dealing with gender pay gap, mistreatment in the office, physically, mentally, like so much stress surrounds them while working on these garments that they are hand making, and should be worth way more money, because it takes knowledge, and you know how hard it is to learn crafts. You know how long it takes to learn different types of crafts, so you know how much time gets into that. And by saying it's handmade and giving it more worth, because we're always talking about the fact that people should be asking what they're worth for their art and their garments, because they put time and effort into it. Like, you should ask, if you're making patterns, you should ask for your worth, because there's a lot of time that comes into that. If you make finished garments for people, you should ask what, like, this is a constant conversation we're having. But by saying like this is handmade, it kind of, I hope you can understand what I'm saying. Like, but it kind of takes away the fact that all clothing is handmade. And just because you made it doesn't mean that it just takes away a bit from the fact that the garments workers who are working on t-shirts or other projects are also have all this wealth of knowledge and all of this expertise, but because their circumstance, it's not seen as handmade. It's just, we just talk about the fashion industry as if it's this big bag machine not made out of humans, and humans are suffering literally the cost of capitalism and making sure clothes are as cheaply and most availably as possible for people in the Western Hemisphere. What I'm trying to say, actually, if this makes sense, is that I want to step away from saying that what I make is handmade, and I want to say that what I make is me made. And they do already say this a lot in the sewing side of the internet. Like, they talk about me made clothes, and I'm not, and that's on me. I thought it was a little bit goofy. When I heard it in the beginning, I was like, me made, me made. I was like, oh, this is kind of weird, but it's a good way to like change the narrative and take control over, and still be proud of the fact that you make your own clothes, which you should be proud of. There's a lot of time that gets into that. I know, I do it too. I am proud of myself of like walking around and someone saying, oh, this is really cool. Like, where did you get it from? And saying that, like, I made it. I thrifted it. That's so cool to say that. But I just want to make sure that in that language, we do not forget that all clothes are handmade. And I just feel like talking about it more and realizing it, and not just having this removed idea of like, oh yeah, fast fashion bad. No, there are people, the fast fashion industry is built on these women who are hand making clothes, because that's how clothes are made. You have to sew the hems, you have to sew the lining, you have to sew the seams. Like, that has to be done by hand. That's not one machine who does that. People do that using using machines, but people do that. So I just want to make sure that, first of all, I don't forget that, and I stop using handmade clothing in my vocabulary when I talk about what I'm making, and really, really remember that everything is handmade. All clothes are handmade. But I kind of got into this rabbit. It's not even a real rabbit hole because you know that. I know that. We all know that these are the circumstances in fast fashion industry and how things are made. We know that that's how it's works, by completely abusing these women. Like 80% of the garment workers are women, by completely misusing these women and these garment workers, making sure that they make 0.001 cents on everything and that they're stuck in their circumstances so we can buy the latest micro trend. We know that that's how it is. You just have to keep that in the front of your mind when you're talking about handmade clothes. All clothes are handmade. It's just made by people who do not have the same privilege as you and me, maybe, which it's very frustrating. But definitely sound off in the comments if you have I hope you don't have a different opinion. That would be shocking. Not that I really stated an opinion. It's more like in the way that we throw around the word handmade. Sometimes just feels like it's to give it like a more, this feels special because it's handmade, but everything is. It should feel special because it's locally made, or it's, you know who made it, and you know that the person who made it is paid fairly and has housing and has a safe work environment. Like, it's good to know that. And just knowing the fact that when you buy fast fashion, that the chances that that is the case is 0.000. So I just really want to talk about it. I also understand that having time to make your own clothes is a privilege. Getting time to get to knowledge and to get really good at it is also a privilege. Like, having free time is an insane privilege. I kind of went on a tangent of all of the negative sides of how ethically clothes are made, which is also a part of this conversation. But the main thing I wanted to say is that all clothes are handmade, basically. I have a few resources. I'll put them in the description. But yeah, I really want to do more research about it. And I think next week in Ghent, the city where I live, there are a bunch of organization called Fair Fashion Fest. And they're going to organize, and it's from the Fashion Revolution organization. And on the 24th of April, they're organizing a movie night, and we're going to watch the Buy Now Shopping Conspiracy video, and on the 20 video movie. And on the 26th of April, there's a Sew and Renew event where you can mend in public. Both events are free, to put it out there that fashion industry can be a place for good and can be a place of learning how to retake care of your clothes to make them last longer, and just be a conscious shopper and not just someone who's blindly following trends and making the demand even higher than before. Just being an irresponsible consumer. So if you live in a city I'm definitely going the 26th of April. I want to go, but the 24th, I'm not sure yet. Probably, but I'm not sure. But it's a super cool initiative, and I totally want to go. This is not an ad or something. I'm just something that they organize locally, and I wanted to go last year, but last year I got sick. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. I hope I edit this well because I'm rambling. Next thing I wanted to discuss is this channel. This channel has grown a lot since my last knit and chat, and I took a week off 2 weeks ago, just because I felt like I was like falling into the grind of having to post, and not that I wasn't enjoying it, but I was just feeling the stress of it, basically. So I wanted to take a week off to like plan for the coming months and see what I wanted to create on this channel. And I realized a few things. I really want to make better content. And by better, I mean I want to take more time to edit my videos and create a result that I'm proud of, because the video I posted before I took my week off, the crochet back video, I had fun making it, but the edit, it's not my best work, and it's not the way I want to put out content on this channel. I just really wanted to look a certain way, and I just felt the stress of having to edit it and upload it that week. I had filmed 2 other videos, and I mean, that's not really important, but I was just not proud of the result. And I really want to feel like when I put something out, like that's the final look of it and it's great. And I just wasn't feeling that. What I have decided is to go from 4 videos a month to 3, just to give myself more room to edit bigger videos and make them look cooler and have more time to experiment different things. And it could still be that I edit a video a week, but I think just giving me 1 week a month to like breathe and try different things, because Unraveled Studios, it's not just this YouTube channel, it's a TikTok and Instagram, and I'm working on other things behind the scenes I'm really excited about. So I just want to make sure that everything I try, I do as good of a job as possible for it, and that I produce content that you guys really want to see and that I'm proud of. So that's one thing. I also kind of want to find a way to start collaborating with other fiber artists, because I just really like doing that. And I like to watch content of other types of creators when they are talking to each other or interviewing each other. I love to ask questions. So I'm just putting it out there. I know I just said I was working with things behind the scenes, but that's not what I'm working on yet. I'm just putting it out there. I would really like to do that. That in my brain feels like something really cool to do. So maybe in the future, no, not maybe, speaking it into existence, in the future, I will be doing collaborations with other fiber artists, which is really fun. And I was also thinking of just trying new types of content, maybe some tutorials, more vlogs, me testing things out, me starting a series. I think that would just be very, very nice and very interesting. I think that would be very interesting. So I'm also looking at different types of content and to post. By taking that week off, it really felt like I had a plan for my YouTube channel again, and I wasn't just doing stuff every week and then every week after posting a video being like, okay, what am I posting now? Like I was really like already planning in advance and seeing how much time it's gonna take to edit. So that being said, I already have a bunch of ideas planned, some parts of videos also already planned, already filmed. So that's nice. But yeah, so I'm excited. Also, the things that I've been doing, like the free tutorial videos, are definitely staying. I have planned a crochet summer trends video with free patterns to make them, of course, a knit version as well. Might start looking into more free sewing pattern content as well. I do want to get back into sewing more. So that would also might be making a little peek. But the things that I'm liking now, that I kind of have a system for, I will keep doing, but I also want to stay open and try new things. I'm just excited, and I hope you guys are too. If you guys want to see a certain video, put it in my comments. I read everything, so definitely comment it in the comments. And I also just wanted to do that and protect myself from having like burnout from having to post every single week, because it does take some time to think of the idea, to film, to edit. It takes a lot of time to do all that, and it kind of doesn't give you a rhythm, so it's hard to adapt to other people's schedule if something changes, because I don't really know how long it takes to edit videos sometimes. For some videos I know, but others I don't, so it's just nice to have in advance something planned out, some buffer days to give me enough time to work on it and not feel overwhelmed by the amount of work something might take. So I think going down from 4 a week to 3 is going to be a good idea. If I feel spicy, I might just post a fourth video, I don't know. But for right now, I think that's good. And I want to protect my sanity as much as possible. And if you miss me, you can definitely follow me on Instagram. I post there every single day, literally. And lastly, it's just thank you guys for believing in me. Honestly, every subscriber just feels like a pat on the back, and then like yeah, you're doing a good job and people want to see what you're doing. I've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel low key for years and years and years, but I never felt like I had something to show or something to say. So just it being like knitting and crafting and something I've been doing my whole life is absolutely bonkers and absolutely crazy that you guys want to follow me on this journey, and I really appreciate it. I really do. Each and every single one of you. I know it sounds crazy to say because, but the things I've been able to organize and do and the space I've been able to create on this corner of the internet is awesome. So thank you guys for watching. Yeah, it just means a lot to me. I am working on a lot of things behind the scenes. I'm working on what I can tell you is I'm working on my warped lines vest. I finished my second sample. I am working on grading it. The bigger sizes are causing headaches because I don't trust the resource. I mean, I don't trust. That's maybe a serious word to say the issues I'm dealing with right now. But it's just the measurements they're giving me for the bigger sizes and how it's calculating the amount of stitches I need to cast on and then cast off for the armholes, and the amount of stitches it's giving me for the shoulder to shoulder width, it just doesn't make sense. Like the difference is so big, and it's also saying that women, because it's a woman chart, that our shoulder to shoulder measurements for 5X is the same as mine. That's possible. I have wide shoulders. I'd be going to the gym. I have wide shoulders. Okay. But even if that's the case, the amount of stitches you have to cast on compared to the amount that is going to stay after you've cast off for the arms, it just doesn't make sense. So I'm just going to keep looking. I'm using the Sister Mountain website, but I must have just put in something wrong because it's not making sense. So if you guys happen to have like book recommendations or any resource, honestly, to great patterns that you trust, you've used, or you know some people who use, definitely say it in the comments. I'm all ears. I'm willing to pay for whatever. I just want to make sure that it's like a good quality resource because I just want it to be good. I don't want my testers to feel like, oh wow, this is just ridiculous and she didn't even really try. Like I'm asking for time and energy to put in testing, so I really don't want it to be like disrespectful, and I would love to be able to launch all the sizes at the same time. So if you guys have any resources, I am all ears because I am struggling right now. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I hope the first part makes sense and I will totally fix it in the edit if it doesn't. I had a great time talking to you guys. I hope you made some progress on your whip while listening to me. Yep. You can follow me on all the different social media platforms. I put them in the description. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.